Hello, everyone, and welcome to Friday night. I am Hillis Pugh along with.
Rebecca Gregory here. I'm going to plug my computer in because it just said it's going to die on me. That would have been a good thing, huh? Like, oh,
See, this is what happens when you're live. You never know what's going to happen, or you may catch some people not prepared.
I was prepared. My computer wasn't.
Welcome
I'm good
to
now.
Friday. And before we get started, I just want to say Happy Veterans Day because I have cousins and family who have served, and just want to say thank you for everyone who has stepped in to fulfill this role and doing what they do. So thank you.
Yes.
And speaking of this very auspicious day, be it Veterans Day, there's also something very special because it's 11/11/22, and we're at the end of eclipse season. Eclipse season is done. Portal here, portal there, moon, full moon, half
Blood
moon,
moon.
blood moon, all this stuff, right? And it really got me to thinking about the impact of the external energies and how they impact the physical stuff, how they impact our energy, right? And I feel it almost comes down to your belief system and how you feel something will affect you or not. Yeah, and Daisy agrees.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Daisy, for agreeing. And so as we really and truly understand what is happening to us from the external space, from our belief system, where well, Mercury retrograde is going to do this, or Mars retrograde is going to do this, which we're in right now, which is in Mars retrograde, and the eclipses are going to have this effect, and all this stuff, right? And so we go through it, and we put up these protections and create boundaries and borders and said, no, you can't enter my field, or you can't do this, or you can't do that, right? I understand all of that because I was there with everyone. I lived all of this and experienced all of this. But now I feel that it's time to make that shift from having the external dictate how we feel, from how we live our lives, and moving into the internal space to create from the center, from within, and connecting to the soul on that level, and then moving it and expanding it outward, and then having the inside then be anchored in here and transmit the energy outwardly, and have it show up that way. I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Rebecca? I mean, just something that's been in my awareness for the past few days.
Exactly. I have a lot of thought. I want to make mention that the huskies going off. That was Daisy setting boundaries with Cosmo at the moment, expressing herself not to eat her food. So we were in live once again, as it happens on this show all the time, of boundary setting. The Huskies always, they have a part of this show too. So Daisy was reminding people to set boundaries with others who were trying to interfere on your inner peace. So that was a message from Daisy I needed to pass on. but in
Mhm.
but in saying that, yes, it's so yeah, I've had such an interesting week, with this and what you were talking about, the inner stillness. And I was thinking about that today. I was going to go out today and I walked outside and I was just feeling the energies and I was just like, no, time to stay in. And I was like going around to do stuff. And I'm like, nope, just time to be in the stillness. Today's the time to be in the stillness. Just because what is happening right now, the other day, we are in the shift right now. And I want to make that so important right now. The shift of what was old is just has to go. And we have to move in it and start creating that new. And that's what I know a lot of people right now are questioning that. What is that newness as this oldness is coming up? And that's all key going into the inside. And remember the things that bring you joy. Remember the stillness of you. Remember, what what really makes you tick and makes you feel good inside so you can expand that out.
Yeah.
And that is what's important. For me, I started baking the last couple days, and I haven't baked in years, and I'm like, I made Yorkie puddings and I just made banana bread, and I'm just like, but for me,
Who's
that
gonna eat all of that?
I don't know. I have it like, I don't know, have to share it with people or David or the dogs. I'll share some with the dogs, who knows. But anyhow, it was for me, it was just stepping back in remembrance when that's part of what I love to do is I love, I enjoy baking for people, and I enjoy cooking for people. And that brings me a part of me brings me joy to give to others in that
Oh,
way. And I
man.
forgot about that. What?
You just brought something up that I just thought about because, I don't know if I talked about it last week or the week before, but it's been about a month. No, today's been a month. Wow, a whole month of
Oh
me
my.
on this special diet, and sugar is like, no. But I just thought about it. It's like Thanksgiving is coming up, and sweet potato pie is like my
Ooh.
thing. And I've made a vegan sweet potato pie before, but I'm like, how can I make a sugar-free sweet potato pie? It's like, no, you can't. So I might have to spoil myself. I might have to break my diet for a day.
So I mean, I know what you're doing now, why you are, but once again, that brings up something else that I've been navigating this week, around food and around belief systems around food. There's so much out there of we can't have this, we can't have this, and if having sugar sweet potato pie brings you joy, then you know what? That intention is set that it is not going to mess with anything in your system.
Yeah, this is true.
And it's and unraveling all those belief systems and all the locked in things around it's more important to the goodness and the wholeness and the intent and the love of what we're putting inside of us than the belief systems wrapped around this is good, this is bad. Because I think food is one of the biggest things we judge.
Labels, yeah. Well,
Labels.
no, but you know what though, too, after a while, and we had no intention on talking
Ah,
about this tonight, but I mean, when you think about it as a whole, right? When you think about what we allow ourselves to ingest, right? Especially, being human, we are more so emotionally driven because of our belief system, because of what we have seen, because what we have felt, because what we have witnessed through the traumatic or possibly even some of the non-traumatic experiences.
mhm.
We just will have this connection with food and the belief that goes along with it. And what I found interesting, and it's not the first time that I read this or even saw about it, but throughout your path, you always get these little reminders. So after watching documentaries and so forth and so on, and it hit me again this week, and how they're saying that sugar, white sugar, processed sugar, is more addictive than crack cocaine.
Mhm.
And how we crave it so much because of the chemicals that it releases in our brain. I'm like, well, is that the reason why? And the thing is, and I've been really sitting with it this week because of me going through this diet and not really having sugar, because sugar's in everything. And it's so funny because everywhere I go, I have to ask, is there this, then that, is there that, is there? I've become one of those people that if I'm going to go out, I'd rather stay home and cook than go out and have to ask all these questions. And so I just find that interesting because we are in this space of really not just honoring our bodies, but honoring who we are. And in this space of metamorphosis, this space of transformation and transmutation, and understand there's a difference between the two. Transformation is like metamorphosis. You're moving from one
Mhm.
state to another, while transmutation is taking what's already there and creating something more beautiful with it, just like a seed or a
Mhm.
flower or a tree or a plant. They're taking the seed and they're taking the dirt and the nutrients from that and creating something more beautiful with it. And so when you're in this space of, what I'm doing now of this diet, you're taking what's already present and you're making it even more beautiful. And so this is what we have to understand, that we take what's given and we can either make it more beautiful or even try to shift it. But it's harder to shift something than to change something, you know?
Hmm. And I think right now too, it's getting down to the question. I once again asking ourselves, what do we truly desire and what do we truly want, and at a whole nother level. And
Yeah.
when I'm saying this, I'm sorry, Cosmo's running around distracting me a little bit right now. But in saying that, this week it was really showing, and I want to bring this forth because it was so profound in my life, and I love to share things that are profound in my life. Is the showing of the split of what's happening. I've had it
Mm.
driving down the road with the road showing these two sides. My tree outside. I wish I brought the picture of it up. So I have this. It's called a Rebecca tree or something. It's like a sunflower tree, and this tree is just the
I love
craziest tree.
backup tree. How
It's my
appropriate.
tree.
It's
It's
your
my
tree.
tree. Um, and so, but this tree is just, I watch this tree because it's such a teacher. And right now it is bloomed, split in the middle like this. Half the side has beautiful yellow flowers, and the other half has nothing at all.
See, and that's important to point out. I mean, we are in this space of really understanding what's important. Is it
Exactly.
this side or is it that side? Is it this way or that way? And what's coming to my mind right now, so a little over a year ago, as you guys know, I talked about me doing plant medicine when I was in upstate New York for a whole month, yada yada yada. So one of my journeys, we did a mushroom journey one particular day. Ha ha. I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but here it is.
I knew it was coming out. That's why I said something.
Yep. And so on my path of us, having mushrooms, having peyote, having all this stuff, and I'm walking down my path, and every time I walk, maybe 50 feet, probably not even 50 feet, there's a tree right in the middle of my path. And I always have to make this choice, go left or go right. Which way do I go? Which way do I go? And the bottom line is that it doesn't matter the choice. Your choice is your choice. If you wanted to remain in the energy that you are in, so be it. But if you want to transmute and to create something beautiful, so be it. It's your choice.
Exactly. Exactly. And our choice right now is making that ultimate choice of um like letting go of all that grieving, and for what I think a lot of people are going through, a huge shift of grieving what was, and opening to that space of noticing how things are changing in your world, and
Mhm.
how do you want to navigate that, and letting go. And also I've noticed another thing, I don't know about you, Hillis, is like walking, as I said, nature is really teaching us at a whole nother level right now. If you observe, and things that are coming at us are things you'll notice patterns popping up now, to see where you are and what your choice is. Are you going to
Yeah.
stay the same, or are you going to make a different choice? And it's happening in real time. That's why people are struggling so hard right now, is because all these things are popping up in real time more than they ever have, right in our faces, to see where we are. And that goes back to that line of
Yeah.
divide. It's, I woke up the other morning, I was telling Hillis, once again, this divide thing has been popping up this past week, very profound for me. I woke up the other morning, the day of the herd, and I literally woke up, opened my eyes, and I saw the world. Part of my canal out my window was black and white, and the other part was color. And I saw it's clear. And I closed my eyes. I'm like, what the heck's going on now? And I looked at it, and it was shown that way. And for me, that is the shift that's happening right now. Do we want to stay in the darkness and the old and the shadows and be in that old energy, choosing pain and suffering? Or do we want to break through that and choose the color and the abundance, and stand in who we truly, and claim who we are?
Yeah.
And not allow the rest of the world anymore. Allow those people to be in the shadows, and realizing that people around us are just to teach us, or just to move through as that last choice. But we don't have to take that on anymore, people. Don't
Yeah.
let other people's stuff, and also start really, I'm getting right now, and this is what I've been going through, that's why I'm sharing it, to really start to notice things you're doing and where they're coming from, and are they truly yours? Because a lot of old people that maybe passed on to the other side are being attached right now to our beingness, that we hold on to energetic prints of that, that is no longer us. And we need to release those cords from that energy so we can really claim and step in to flow into who we truly are,
Indeed. And
whatever
you
that
know,
is.
yes. And you brought something, and I think I talked about this a few weeks ago, because I had an experience and it really resonated, and it's coming up again for us to reiterate. And that is, why do we choose to suffer?
Mhm,
Because most of us choose to. So it's an unconscious choice, but we choose to. And the fact of the matter is because of our belief system, because we don't know any better, or because we're afraid to move into something else, or we're afraid to step into this. So there's a lot of reasons why we choose to stay in this recognized pattern of suffering. And it's because it's comfortable for us. It's because it's what we know. And I was watching something the other day, and what I found interesting, it was this webinar that I found fascinating, is how we allow our belief systems to really limit who we are.
mhm,
And people often talk about, yes, let's clear the ancestral energy, or let's clear this ancestral suffering, let's clear this, from our family lineage, and blah blah blah, right? I get that. I understand that people have this attachment to clearing the energy before and after them. But what I want people to understand is that that type of clearing, especially now, is not needed. What is needed, or desired rather, yes, what's desired rather, is the clearing of you,
mhm,
the connection to you, which is the connection to the first father and the first mother, source energy itself. And with that divine connection, you can clear what is being asked to be cleared. And once you clear self, you can clear others. There's no ritual that you have to do to go clear the family generations. There's no need for that, because that already happened, and it's still happening in the energetic sense. And as you allow for the energies to flow to clear self, it clears that. But what I'm being guided to express is that when you connect to your soul, you connect to your other past beings,
mhm,
not lives, but beings. And there's a difference. Because as we allow for the energy of the past being to come in to be embodied, we then allow access for the fullness of our soul to be present with us, to be with us in all that we are
mhm,
and all that we do. Because when we allow for the expression of life, right? Life. What is life? Life is just a temporary experience that we have in any incarnated space, whether if it's here on Earth or another planet or whatever dimensional galaxy. But when we step into the beingness and own the beingness, it's the embodiment of our complete self lineage, the
mhm,
soul lineage. And I feel that this is something I'm going to, at some point, attune and connect people to, because I'm learning how to do this myself, how to
mhm,
bring in all the lineages, kind of like that cartoon Avatar, how to bring in all that energy from past beings, and because the only
mhm.
one soul with many incarnations, many beings, and just
Experiences.
as experience, and you bring that in. and you transmute the ones that need to be transmuted, or archive the ones that need to be archived to allow for the newness to come in, because sometimes we don't need to carry all of this, it's not necessary, and yet we still carry it all because we're so used to being weighed down, we're so used to suffering, we're so used to all of this energy because we didn't know any better or any different. But it's time to archive it all, because the Akashic records is here in self, and it's
Mhm.
out there, and you can choose to connect to that, but and draw from that wisdom and experience and knowledge. But some of the stuff is yet to be written, people. Everything isn't written. It's just there for guidance. You can write your own story. You can do what you're being asked to do, and even archive what is no longer needed, or and transmute it into something beautiful. So this is the message for you guys for this evening.
Exactly. And that's what's happening right now. Those imprints that we carry through our soul, and the ego self, we would say, the conditioned self that we have been um in this lifetime struggling with. That's the part that keeps us in the pain and suffering, and that's what's kind of going away right now. And it's really learning how to navigate and become allies with that part to recondition it and transform it to something of a new, and not of an old. And but yet the ego self is so conditioned in the way it functions, just like imagine if you want to change a behavioral of something that you're doing, it takes a while to do that, correct? So your ego is going through the same thing right now. You're saying, oh, I want to be this way, but your ego is like, well, wait a minute, we've always functioned this way. What's going on here? What the hell are you doing, So it's also like that cellular memory conditioning of our own ego. The ego is not going to go away. It is part of us. Everybody wants to get rid of the ego. However, in saying that, the ego is part of our structure, I guess you could say. And so we have to learn how to redirect that, as we are, as Hillis says, as we are emerging and becoming part of that soul part of us that we have been separated from, and coming together to bring that together to move forward and create what's going to be created in the future and what we're moving into, because it's a whole new. We've always been programmed from the beginning of time of separation. Well, now the separation is ending in that old ways, where we're coming into alignment to the one. And
Yeah.
that's what's happening right now. And that's why so many people are struggling right now all over the place, because it's just that dance is new. And
Oh
so,
yeah.
what I'm asking everyone and inviting everyone to, instead of running from the dance, embrace the dance. It might not be the boss, or it might be something you don't know. And that's the thing. But embrace the dance as a new dance of you, whatever that might look at, because gifts are opening up right now. Things are shifting. Shadows are, people are seeing more, experiencing world. What is that for?
That word
What did I say?
shadow.
What?
I was triggered by that word this
I
week.
always trigger you, Hillis, by my words.
No, no, but honestly, no. So the thing I was watching this week, they kept saying shadow in a lot of stuff. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
what shadow? And so it got me to thinking. Right, it got me to thinking. Shadow. What is the shadow? It's two things. One, it's our fears
Hmm.
that we don't want to face. And two, it's everything that we are ashamed of, that we tucked away, that we no longer wish to experience. Okay. And maybe a few other things lumped in there, but that's primarily what the shadow is. It's the things that we no longer, the shadow is the energy we wish not to experience. I'm going to say that again. The shadow is a thing that we wish not to experience. Go ahead.
I was just saying the shadow I was talking about are shadow people and other beings that are showing up in the shadows.
Yeah, and that's part of that. The things we
Hmm.
wish not to experience, the things that we hold in that space. And so, with the energy of the shadow, how we move in that space and how we cultivate in that space. And people say, "Oh, well, I'm gonna clear my shadow. I'm gonna do shadow work and blah blah blah." it's not necessary to do shadow work in the terms in which people are referencing it this day.
Hmm.
When we allow ourselves to truly embrace who we are, what we do, the shadow tends to fall away. When we fully embrace ourselves, there is no shadow. When we
Well, there are
allow,
still shadows around, as I said.
well, yes, around, but I'm talking about self now.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
was talking about something totally different.
I know, but but you know the two go hand in hand.
Well, I do understand that. Yes.
You know the two go hand in hand. I mean, of course, there's always going to be this aspect of this shadow person or that shadow person. Doing in the dance of energy. That's always going to be present. But in the terms of really moving into understanding what the shadow is or what the shadow looks like, I mean, most of it is things we wish not to face or things we wish not to embrace, or it's our fears, all these other components. And when we allow ourselves to step into the energy of embracing the soul self, the higher self, the one that truly is us, I mean, there's no work to be done. It's just allowing the beauty of that shadow, because when there's light, there's always going to be darkness.
Because then the darkness is the light, and that's what we need to travel through. And that was what I was saying before with the gifts that are opening up right now, that people are going to start seeing things that to move into the lightness of it and play with it and dance with it, and don't
Yeah,
allow the fear of it to hold you back from opening to who you are.
exactly. Because I mean, regardless, I mean, people are going to be out here talking about shadow this, shadow that, and all this energy. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. I mean, there's no one without the other, period.
No,
I mean, in
it's the
that saying that,
balance.
because yeah, when you have light, there's shadow. When there's shadow, there's light. I mean, and it's just all about really understanding who you are and who you want to be in that moment. Do you want to be your shadow? No, you always want to be in the light. You always want to allow yourself to shine and be who you are. And yeah, I mean, we may cast a shadow, but knowing that that shadow is connected to the brightness of your soul, of who you truly are. So there is, in essence, always light in that.
Exactly. Because that's where birth is, in the womb. We're a birth from the womb. We're in the darkness when we're born, and then we come into the light. And it's remember that
Exactly.
part going back into that womb, because in that darkness, in those shadows, in those spaces that you don't want to see, are your true gifts that you
Exactly.
have been hiding from. And that's what I wanted to explain before, is like those gifts are being shown now. Allow yourself to embrace them and open to them and allow them to come in as you
Exactly.
boil this transformation of you with the energies that are opening up at a whole nother level that have never been on this planet before. The vibration level of this planet has never been at this vibration before.
Exactly. And a
Never.
great, right, exactly. Exactly. And a great example of this is that the sun cast its light onto the moon, and the moon itself is the shadow of the
Mhm.
sun, right?
My computer just went crazy. I don't know what's going on. Okay, we're
I
better
know,
now.
mine too, but it's been doing that lately.
Yes, yes.
Since
Electronic things are starting to talk more.
yeah, you should have saw my screen earlier. But with that being said, I think it's time for expansion time. What do you think?
Expansion time. What do we want to expand into?
We want to expand into the wholeness and the completeness of our being, and accept ourselves for as we are, as we truly are, as we allow for the resonance and the vibration of our soul to tell a whole new story as we transmute this energy from one space to the other, as we connect to all frequencies, all dimensions, and understanding that each frequency holds a special place in your heart for you to vibrate with what resonates for you and your soul, for your soul to sing to you, for your heart to sing to you, to tell a new story and let go of the old story, because that old story no longer serves you, and that old story is one that is keeping you in the space of stagnation, that is preventing you in opening up to the beautiful rose, the beautiful flower, and accepting this power of this dragon light energy that is in the elemental fire of your being, that is just magnificent and just wonderful and just fulfills you, where you resist and clear all cravings of sugar or anything else that doesn't serve the body, because the body needs to be strong and healthy to receive what it needs to receive without the weights or the constraints of our old belief systems, as things begin to crumble and fall, and just allow them to be composted and to turn into something more magnificent in the
To turn
glow
into
of
the
you.
golden crown that you're becoming and step into that golden crown of who you are, to open up yourself, to communicate at a whole nother level, to be who you are and say the truth of who you are, to be in the happiness and the joy of your heart, and allow that time to expand and be into the next level of you. And in that, always remember there's always a time for a timeout where you need to sit and be still in who you are and open to that space you are. There is some grieving happening right now. Allow that to move through as you open up to your life's purpose, and allow the passion to come through. For you know in your heart and you know in your mind what is always there, hidden in time. So open to that space inside your heart. Allow it to expand and grow and be better part of you.
Yes, because all is infinitely now. There's no past, there's no present, there's only the future of now, the infinite future of the present, the infinite future of the past, the infinite future of the future, where all is now. I know this may not make much sense in the words that are being expressed, but in the feeling of the resonance and the vibration, you understand that the now is always the now.
And
Even though
in
you
the
may,
now,
yes, in the now, you may claim to have lived in Egypt, you may have claimed to live a life in Syrian or Lemurian or Atlantis or Lyran or Pleiades, you may have claimed to live in these other beings, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't.
But in the now is your self worth of who you are and who you will be. And you stand in that truth and you stand in that power, in the sovereignty of who you be. In the now is that worth, is that power that you claim inside of thee, to stand as a sorcerer, the witch, the wizard, or whatever you might be, to be in the dragon lines and flow through the air and allow the magic of you to come sweep you everywhere.
The infinite expansion of you.
Is all that it will be as you move forward in the next part of thee, as you open up your wings and spread them high and fly around this beautiful planet to create a new look in your eye.
And
And
just
for that
allow him.
expansion we see, we open up to thee to allow all that has to be.
Hmm.
And not judging what was or what was in the past, but now opening up with an open, brand new heart to move forward and let the past be in the past.
And live in the infinite now. Hmm.
That was fun.
That was fun. Ah, I like that expansion time. You
Yeah.
never know what's going to happen live, and here we are, as I am just have the waterworks from this has been happening all day, just randomly with me. So go back, rewatch that, soak it in, and enjoy. And remember to like and share with your friends. As we,
Wait for it and hit the little bells and
yes,
share us along so then
yes,
we can spread the word.
and allow people to resonate, to feel in this energy as we prepare for the tune up.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
I need a little bit of air for that one.
I know. Oh, well, that was on the fly. That was so much fun. Thank you, Hillis. That was fun.
Oh no, thank you. I mean, when we do stuff like that, it always reminds me of the day that we met,
I know. I know.
and which
That's
is
why
the
we never
reason
plan
why
anything.
I know, and which is why we do what we do. You know,
Exactly.
It-
Exactly.
it's
And
just
thank you
too
guys. I
amazing.
hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, Indigo says she loves it, love it.
Because
Lisa,
that's the truth right now. Yeah.
Lisa is 3 hearts. Indigo, stunning. Oh, I just want to take this time before, well, it's on my mind because I did see it earlier. Send in your aunt, Indigo, much love, much energy to a fast recovery, to a quick recovery. Hope all continues to improve and be well with her. And if you guys enjoy that and enjoy the show, we ask that you click on the description below in the description to donate because as we value our time, we value you. And I hope you guys appreciate us bringing you this magic, this love of how we allow for this to flow. And
And
so your
also, go ahead.
no, and your donation keeps the show going. So every little bit helps. So just click the link in the description to assist us in keeping this going, this gift to you.
And also want to remind anybody, if you're listening to the show, you're coming out and you're really struggling right now, and you just don't know where to go or what to do, and and you resonate with Hillis or myself, contact us. We do sessions to help assist you move through this, because sometimes a one-on-one is really good on moving you if you're stuck in some energy that you need it moved through. So just remember that we're out here, also doing one-on-one sessions if you require any additional assistance.
Yes. Yes, yes,
And
yes.
all the information's in the bio, right, Hillis?
Yes, it's
Oh,
all in the description. Yep. You can go RebeccaGregory.com or me or whatever else. It's
me.
all good.
Is that your new website, me?
Me, you, we, them, they, us. It's all the same.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's taplink.cc/Hillis Pugh. You find all the good stuff on me, or just Google me. You can find all of it.
And who knows, the way I've been baking here lately, I might start my own bakery. I don't know.
Yeah, Rebecca may even come down and give me some of her, but I can't eat that stuff now anyway.
Yes, you can. You're going to just give yourself a break. We talked about
Yeah, maybe I'll give
small
myself.
food.
But anyway, as we digress, we move now into the tune-up because everyone I know has been going through a rough week, interesting
And
week.
before we do that, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm really feeling that some people might have a question or something, that they have something that's going on they would like an answer to. So if anybody's out there and has a question they would like for Hillis and I feel like there's some people out there that might have something to express that requires being talked about real quick before we start the tune up. And I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was really feeling that. So type it in if
How dare you? No, kidding.
don't mess with me, Hillis. Come on through here.
So
So
yeah,
anyhow, I just felt like I needed to say that. So if something comes through, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I needed to express that. So
yeah, we will do that as I allow for the dragon energy to
mm,
move through.
hmm, hmm.
The dragon energy is very strong today. I don't know about you, but it's definitely strong with me in this moment.
Oh yeah, it's been pretty intense the last couple days, especially with what's going on in the
Yeah.
world.
For those who know, dragons are real. I've seen them.
I have to. I saw one in Ecuador.
I see them all the time now, but yeah, it's very interesting in how we allow for it to connect to this energy. And so, with that being said, I haven't seen any questions as
Okay.
of yet.
Well, maybe it'll come at the end.
Maybe.
So, are you starting, or you want me to just do sound tonight, or what are you feeling?
I'll start because
Okay.
of the dragon energies.
Okay.
As I allow for the energies to be open, to connect to those who are watching this in the infinite now, as I connect to Rebecca's energy. Opening the portal of my connection, of my space.
Ooh.
Ah,
The question.
yes, no, I see. The reason
Mm.
the reason you asked is because Source asked me to come through to you to make the light of God be true to all of you. Well, thank you, Chuck, for
Thank
that.
you, Chuck. I so appreciate that.
Yes, and as we allow for this divine energy, the energy of strength, the energy of courage, the energy of confidence, the energy of wisdom, the energy of loyalty, for you to realize and know that you are not alone on this journey as you now take this time to choose what is best for you. Leaving your fears at your feet and allowing those to take these fears and to use these fears as seeds for a new life as they are being transmuted by this golden light, the light of the dragon, to take the fire that they breathe to transmute them. These seeds of darkness, these seeds of fear, these seeds of shame, and use their fire to transmute them into jewels, into diamonds and topazes and emeralds and garnets and rubies and pearls, pearls of wisdom that you may draw from. And as these gems take root in and around your being, you begin to recognize your true self, your true essence, and allow this true essence to be recognized, to be heard, and as you feel the tones, the vibrations, as you hear these energies, you begin to now see yourself as your true self, your soul self, as you're connected to all there is, the first father and the first mother. As you are the children, as we are the children, having wonderful experiences unto self, knowing the vibrational alignment and resonance as this fire has birthed anew. This intense heat and fire, the dragon lines of this planet, the dragon lines of the universe, as they are infinitely connected, into the knowing of your space and your being, bringing you closer to the truth of humanity, the human soul, the soul that is infinitely you, the soul that will always be you, no matter what body, incarnation, planet, no matter where you reside, you know your home. Your home is within, your home is always with you, no matter which and where you travel, physically or dimensionally. And you are always home. Welcome home, everyone.
Wait, gotta put your hand on your heart and a hand on your stomach. Take a deep breath in and feel the homeness of you. Anchor yourself in. Shake it off, people. Woo!
And remember to hydrate, rest when you need to. And if you want something more, just let us know.
Or what? You lost me on that one.
I mean, if they wanted like individual sessions.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm peaceful now. How about you?
Oh, yeah. I'm very
Awesomeness.
peaceful.
How's everyone out there doing? Thank you for joining us again for another Cosmic Insight. Anything you'd like to leave everyone with, Hillis?
Remember to keep exploring.
And remember, don't limit yourself, create yourself. Be the change in you.
Till next week, everyone, please like and share with your friends. And if you feel the need, go back and rewatch this, as you may receive something new every time, as your
Exactly.
soul will guide you to what is being asked specifically for you.
And open your hearts to love and receive. Mwah.
Till next week, everyone.